Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, because of popular demand, and after doing the Wimbledon preview with Gill for the men's, there was a lot of people, or there were a lot of people even, asking me to do the lady singles. Now, unfortunately, I'm not able to rope Gill into doing the lady singles as well. He is a man in demand, and I know he will also be doing his own coverage extensively for Wimbledon. But I thought, you know what? We need to go into this because I was going to do it anyways. I was thinking about how I should do it because, to be fair, I was going to say it's a lot more open than the men's, but I guess if you cast Djokovic aside, it's pretty open on the men's. But for the women's, I feel like it's like the men's, except without Djokovic to a degree. You got Serena Williams, who I guess you can equate to your Roger Federer, and I think that's a good place to start, really, because the reason why I want to start with her is it is the similar, I guess, story that Federer has, but she has played a lot more tennis. She's been fit for a longer period of time than Federer as well, and she has been continually playing now. Obviously, not going as far as she would have liked at Roland Garros, but the grass suits her style for sure. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk first of all about Serena Williams and also some of the players to look out for that I think in the draw, on top of my potential and predicted winner. And also, of course, some of the emissions and some players that I think maybe might struggle a little bit, considering the seedings as well, and maybe have got a little bit of fortune. Obviously, Wimbledon not taking the traditional approach where they look at and base seedings based on prior performances and current rankings. It's just to do with the current rankings. So, whatever the seedings are, they are just based on the world rankings, which is a little bit disappointing because I had a problem with the French Open doing that as well. And I think there should be merit. There should be reward given to people who have performed well on the grass in previous years, in my opinion. But look, there's much to muchness. It depends what you like, I guess. Okay. So, on Serena then, look, she has won it 7 times. Can she win it an 8th time? Can she finally break this duck, which has happened since coming back after having a child? And, you know, she came back and she's made multiple finals, hasn't been able to get that defining Grand Slam win, which would put her, which would just consolidate her really probably as the best women's tennis player ever. I mean, I think a lot of people think that she is probably the best tennis player ever. A lot of people have definitely said that she is, and I know like people like Andy Murray, for example, he thinks that she is the best ever. She's won 23 Grand Slams, and she's a second. I mean, she's it's the most by any player in the Open era, but of course, a second most of all time behind Margaret Court. So really impressive, of course, and she has a pedigree. I mean, come on, come on, come on. She's just an incredible player. She really is. She really is, Serena. But she's definitely at the back end of her career. So, look, I think Wimbledon is going to be her best chance. I was saying if she is going to win another Grand Slam, it's going to be at Wimbledon. The surface just suits her game. She's got a big serve, big ground strokes. She's good at the net as well. And it rewards people who play aggressive tennis. And that has been pretty much the brand of tennis that Serena has played throughout her whole career. So, this really is quite a big tournament, I would say, for her because, look, I don't think she has as big a chance on the hard in the US. And also, then when we go back round to the Australian Open and French Open on the clay, especially. So, look, huge opportunity for her. And let's see if she can go deep. I wouldn't be surprised if she makes at least the semis. Obviously, the last time Wimbledon was played was in 2019. She made the final against Simona Halep. She got pretty comprehensively beaten by Simona Halep in the end, which is one of those finals where she could have ended up winning, but unfortunately just couldn't get over the line. And I think she has definitely struggled with some nerves because of the records on the line in those finals. So, look, let's see, but I'm hoping that we see her at her best for sure. Shall we make our way down the list? I'm not going to go through all of the seedings. I want to go through some of the ones that I think obviously are more of the standouts, but I think we can go through the top 5 or 6 or 8 even, because I've already talked about Serena. So Ash Barty, everyone should know who Ash Barty is by now. The number one women's tennis player, of course, pulling out of Roland Garros because of an injury, but she has the game on grass. She's won Junior Wimbledon in 2011, also has 2 grass court titles in Nottingham and also in Birmingham as well in her career so far. She has a very good first serve percentage of points won behind that first serve. So a lot of points won behind the first serve. And she has a good forehand as well. Does she have the game for the grass? I would say yes. She needs to be very proactive. She would need to mix up her game. She's got a pretty good backhand slice as well, which is very effective on the grass where it skips and stays low. And she needs to utilize her game at the net as well. She definitely has the tools to have success here. Is she the favorite? I think she is. From what the odds are saying, I think she's a slight favorite. I think, but yeah, I think from my point of view, I don't know if I would personally put as a favorite or winner. I'm actually still thinking about it, so you'll have to get my opinion on it at the end of the video. But yeah, she obviously is up there. Simona Halep, the reigning champion, 2019 champion, of course, beating Serena in straight sets, and she played superbly in that tournament, to be honest with you. And look, she's a multi Grand Slam champion, Simona Halep, and she is not to be trifled with on this surface. Again, it's a surface that she likes playing on. She enjoys playing on the surface. She moves well on it. I think movement is obviously very important as well. But for me, she is someone who she hasn't been her most fluent recently. Obviously, again, she pulled out with injury as well in Rome, it was, rather than the French Open. She hasn't played any tennis since then. She's pulled out of all the tournaments before Wimbledon. Is she going to have the fitness and I guess, the match practice and match sharpness to make a good run? You'd hope so. Let's see. Arina Sabalenka, number 3 seed. I mean, she has the game. She's got a big game, which is, I want to say, it's relatively similar to Serena's. I think that's a bit too of a basic comparison, but she's got a big serve, a big forehand, big ground strokes. Doesn't necessarily have a plan B. Hits at one pace a lot of the time, which can be an issue. But obviously, she has been a very good doubles player as well, winning with Victoria Azarenka the German Open recently on the grass. So look, she clearly knows how to move on the grass. It's just about utilizing and, I guess, really equipping herself on the grass and making sure that she actually applies herself in the right way. Right, okay. Svitolina, obviously a former semi-finalist here at Wimbledon. She hasn't really done it, has she, at the Grand Slams recently? Well, I say recently, I would just say in general, she's someone who's always been in the top 5 in the world, and just, when I say always, I'm talking about, the past 3-4 years, and she just hasn't quite managed to push on and get that defining Grand Slam victory, which is a bit disappointing, I think, because she does have talent. She's very solid, but her game doesn't make me go, wow. I think she can go on and win here, and I think she sometimes doesn't have that level of consistency needed, and her level drops in spots and parts of tournaments, and that's why she then ultimately ends up going out deeper into the tournament, because the deeper you get, the better opposition you face. As simple as that. Sofia Kenin, I don't think she will have a huge amount of success on the grass, but we shall see. Bianca Andreescu, look, if her game is up to scratch and she is fully fit and fully match, I don't know if she is fully. I think she is match fit. She has had injury issues, but I think it's more a case of, is she fully there mentally in terms of being comfortable within her own game? And is she firing on all cylinders? If she is, she can be a threat for sure. And I'll finish up on the top seeds with Iga Swiatek. Oof. Look, she is a very, very talented player. Still very young. Junior Wimbledon champion in 2018. Career high of number 9. Obviously, everyone's moved up one because Naomi Osaka pulled out, which was a big, big miss, obviously, and will be a big miss for Wimbledon this year. And look, it'll only be a second Wimbledon main draw. She actually lost in the first round, her first main draw in 2019. So this will be a very, very, I think, important year for her on the grass to see how well she can equip herself. I don't think we'll see her go out in the first round, but you never know. You never know. She beat Heather Watson recently at Eastbourne in a close 3-setter. And look, I think Iga Swiatek finds these angles similar to Medvedev, I guess if you want to make a comparison to the men's game. And she can hit quite low over the net. She does have a very good forehand down the line especially, and she can dictate in points. So you would expect her to have some type of success on grass. It's just what level of success that is, I think, remains to be seen, but let's see. And then in terms of the others, so I'm going to pick and choose now from here. Belinda Bencic is someone that people are talking about. She hasn't necessarily had the best season so far, but her game seems to be quite suited to the grass. Big server, big off the ground as well. So she could do well. Petra Kvitova, of course, will be in and around there because she's won Wimbledon twice before. Yes, it was a while ago, 2011 and 2014, but she has the game and has already got historical results here to show that, look, she can have success here. Gabrielle Muguruza, obviously, as well, has won here before. So, look, she definitely, again, does have the game, hasn't been necessarily super consistent, went out really early in the French Open, so that would be a huge disappointment to actually bounce back, remains to be seen. And Victoria Azarenka, as I said, also winning the German Open doubles with Arina Sabalenka, but despite Sabalenka going out early in that tournament, Azarenka managed to do really well, and she managed to make the semis actually of that tournament, which is cool. And she's also made the semis of Wimbledon 2011 and 2012, which is really impressive. And then I'm going to pick and choose now for you here. So, look, Barbara Krejcikova, now I was talking about her. She won the French Open, right, in 2021. So she won the French Open in 2021. That's only a few weeks ago. Yes, it's a completely different surface. I completely understand that. But she's a doubles player, first and foremost. Right? She's a number 1 seed, you can see here. Barbara Krejcikova, number 1 seed with Katerina Siniakova in the ladies' doubles. She has not had a huge amount of... She hasn't had a huge amount of main draws and singles. But she's managed to do really well, right, in the singles at the French Open. She's got a very big serve when it's firing, Barbara Krejcikova. She's got a good backhand. The forehand is well solid, and she's very good at the net. If she manages to figure out the movement, which you'd imagine she has because she's had success here in the past and Wimbledon doubles, then she should be one of the threats. At 15th seed, she most likely will not have an incredible draw, but look, keep an eye out for her. That's what I'm going to say. Maria Sakkari obviously losing to Barbara Krejcikova in the semis, having a match point there as well. I don't know. She's a weird one because I felt the grass is probably a surface that she will struggle on the most. She does have a big forehand and can play pretty aggressively, but the serve might not be big enough, and the game, her net game as well, is not... I don't see it as being credible. So let's see, though. Let's see how she adapts to the grass. It'll be interesting. A few others then. Elena Rybakina, let's talk about her. First main draw in 2021, though. She obviously beat Serena Williams like a few weeks ago in Roland Garros, made the quarterfinals and beat Svitolina on grass recently, which is a big win. So obviously coming to this tournament on the back of some form as well, which is really cool to see. And Coco Gauff. Wow, what a talent, hey? What a talent. 2019, she was a qualifier, beating Venus Williams and making the 4th round, losing eventually to the champion in the end, Simona Halep. So, yeah, Really cool. And of course, coming off the back of making a quarterfinal at Roland Garros, so she will have some form coming into this, which is cool. In terms of the others, do we want to talk about anyone else? Paula Badosa is a bit of a left field one. Not really many people talking about her, but she has quite a big game. So I think a lot of people are looking at these big servers and people who've got big games to go on and do something, and I don't blame them, I guess. The other person I'm going to point out is we have to talk about it, don't we? Let's talk about Daria Kasatkina first, then, before I go on to the Brits. Kasatkina beat Swiatek in Eastbourne in 2021, made the Birmingham final, losing to Jabeur, and also made the Wimbledon 2018 quarterfinals. So she is someone who's coming into this tournament on some very, very good form, and looking out for her. The last one of she's actually not going to be seeded. Is a number 63, number 63, unseeded Samsonova, beat Azarenka and Bencic, winning the German Open WTA 500. So she is coming into this again with some fantastic form and beating some really top players as well. So impressive stuff from her. Let's see how far she can go here. Look, it will be relatively open. Okay, I'm going to finish up on Heather Watson and Johanna Konta. So Johanna Konta, I don't know. I have to be honest with you, as a Brit, when it comes to the women's players in the last few years, they've been pretty disappointing, if I'm being honest with you. So Johanna Konta had some really big chances to make semis, finals at Wimbledon, and just didn't perform. Nerves got to her, lashed out of the press. She has the game if she pieces it together, but her form and her results in 2021 do not suggest that she will make a deep run in this tournament. Let's see. But my gut feeling is she's not going to have a great time of it. But let's see if she can make it to second week. I think the second week will be a very good tournament for her. I know that sounds crazy to say, but because a few years ago we were saying she would win a Grand Slam, but she has fallen off a cliff a little bit in the last couple of years. Heather Watson will not be seeded, so she'll be unseeded going into. She could get a horrendous draw. Let's see. Obviously, if everyone remember a few years back, her having match points against Serena Williams at Wimbledon, it would have been a huge upset. It would have been that match-defining victory that she needed to push on. Obviously, ultimately went on to lose that. And she's just searched that match-defining victory ever since to just catapult her and be that catalyst to accelerate her career and her progression. And unfortunately, it just hasn't happened. And she's just stalled throughout her career and hasn't quite managed to find that little bit of momentum needed. So a bit disappointing, but she is very, very talented when she is striking the ball cleanly. So let's see what she can do. Okay. I guess it's time for me to give my winner, right? Oh, flipping heck. I have absolutely no idea, seriously. Genuinely, like for the women, it's so hard because I said Ash Barty for the French Open, and that's like such a safe option because she's number one, but she's never won Wimbledon. And I don't know. Simona Halep, it depends how, if Simona Halep had, even if she played the French Open and only made like the second round or third round, I would say she was the favourite, and if she'd played these tournaments beforehand, but she hasn't. Oh, man. Who's going to do it? I'm going to go for the fairy tale victory, and I'm going to go Serena Williams. I'm going to go Serena Williams to win it. And my dark horse is Barbara Krejcikova. That's my dark horse. That's someone who I think could exceed expectations for sure. So let's see. But yeah, that's my thoughts. It's going to be so open, isn't it? I mean, anyone could win it from the women's. This is crazy. I just look at it and I just think anyone from that. To be honest, any of these people seeded, any of them to 32. Just literally any of them good. Crazy, absolutely crazy. But it's exciting though as well. Super exciting. Okay, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. Please remember to smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. I really do appreciate it. It's been amazing the support I've had so far on the Wimbledon preview I did for the men's and also the French Open review I did with Gill as well. So thank you very much. I'll be doing a men's and women's draw review after it's been announced on Friday. So keep an eye out for that, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you.